Welcome back, guys, to the questions you're afraid to ask. And today is going to be super, super cool because I have someone that goes back years and years with me. And I'm always kind of blown away when I talk to him about his success. And I would consider you, Jeff, a mentor to me. Absolutely a mentor to me inside my career, where I came from. And now I'm lucky enough to be able to have you here because I would consider you the 1% of the 1% when it comes to sales, when it comes to structure, and without a doubt, mindset. So, guys, I introduce you, Jeff Broderick. Jeff has, again, been a massive influence to the industry, whether you guys know it or not. He was a huge part of the growth of what the industry is. And yeah, we'll get into that. Jeff, welcome.
Wow. Well, thank you. I got to deflate a little bit after that. I'm very humbled by that introduction. So thank you. And Chad, I appreciate the opportunity to even be on here with you. Super proud of what you're doing. It's amazing to see everything that you've accomplished and not only what you've done, but where you're at and where you're going. Super excited to be here and just sharing this little bit with you. So thank you.
I love it. I'm excited to be here. So when this first started, right, and I'm going to go a little bit back inside our background. I mean, this was before any technology existed. And Jeff was like, he was the, I'll say the paramount sales rep, and I was the telemarketer, guys. I was the one setting appointments for Jeff to be able to go in and do what he did. And I mean, turns into what you guys are probably using in the field today. As I'm going to say, maybe it is what influenced that. And I had the opportunity to work with Jeff in the roofing company, right? And then I kind of went on and did my own thing. So Jeff, if you can't give us a little bit of a background of who you are, the background that you want to share, and then I'll really get into the reason that we're meeting today.
Sure.
And start diving through that.
Awesome. Cool. So yeah, I mean, you and I go back a long way. I mean, 20 years that you and I go back, it was almost 20 years ago that you were making the phone calls and I was running the meetings. I mean, that was a great, fun time and a big part of the growth of getting to where we're at today. In that journey, technology did become a big part of that. Even prior to you and I coming together, the company that I'm with was really the godfather of bringing technology into the roofing industry. We created it. We created the basis of it. We dumbed it down a little bit to make it a little more universal and brought it out to lots of contractors in 2010 through the FCS platform. That's now gone on to become a Java and Centerpoint's doing its thing. And it's just it's amazing to see the technology and where it's going in the industry. And that's so cool. And I'm blessed to have been a part of that in its creation stages of that. Over the past 20 plus years, I've been doing this in the roofing industry and have really evolved as well my own understanding of what am I doing here and has allowed me to be able to navigate that on an annual basis, understand the do's and the don'ts, and what do I need to do better each year. And it's been really eye-opening, especially over the past probably 5 to 10 years to see exactly what this has transpired to be and what I'm blessed to be a part of.
So the reason I wanted to bring you on, and I felt that you were so influential to what we're trying to do, is that you're commission only, right?
100% straight commission. Yeah. If I don't sell, I don't bring home a dollar.
And how much did you sell? Let's just say 2023?
About $15 million on the year.
And no new construction, no find a bid on a bid board.
No, we 100% commercial, private negotiated work. Don't do anything for new construction. Don't do anything government bidding. It's just 100% private negotiated work. And yeah, and that is a conglomerate of both repairs and replacements. But yeah, just all right, I got to be honest. It was 14,889,000. But don't you think for a moment that I did not recognize that I was that close to hitting $15 million. So got to be truthful. Just a tick under 15 million.
So the first thing that always comes to my head, right? So there's two things I'm always dealing with when working with contractors, especially when they're growing their sales team. Number one is how do I pay them, right? Because everybody has their own matrix of where it is and how they get paid. And then number two is like, what's the salary?
Yep.
Right. So like when we were talking a little bit before we came on, like the salary I always refer to as the blanket. And there's this perception that if I pay someone, I'm just using numbers here, guys, doesn't mean it is. If I pay someone $40,000, if I pay someone $80,000, that $80,000 person is going to be better than the $40,000 person. That's, I mean, that's completely false, right? But it's so hard to be able to justify it because even talking to like recruiters, I remember one specifically. I had a job out. We were using a recruiter with one of the contractors I work with, and they're like, "You're not going to find anybody who meets your criteria at this dollar amount. You have to go higher."
That's interesting.
How does commission only work? I mean, how do you have that mindset to wake up every morning and just get it done? And not only that, you have relationships worth $15+ million a year. That's insane. Can you break it down for me?
So great questions. And to flip it on its head, here's the situation that going to what you just said. If you got somebody who's $40,000 and you need somebody better, you better pay them $80,000, right? So that's that mindset. In my opinion, that's the complete wrong mindset. Straight commission is the great equalizer. Because here's the thing, somebody, when it comes to a salary-based pay structure, somebody is always going to win and somebody is always going to lose. Either you're paying somebody too much money because they're not producing enough revenue, or they're producing more revenue and they're not getting paid enough. So there's very seldom are you going to hit that bullseye right on the dot and find somebody who just paid exactly what it was that they're getting, you know, what they're making hits exactly what their worth is. So straight commission is the great equalizer. You want to take the burden off of your back as an employer of saying, "Ooh, I don't know, man. I don't want to roll the dice. This guy might not live up to my $80,000. Okay, take it off. Take it off. You, Mr. Salesman, you want to make sure that you're making as much money as you're possibly worth and that nobody's going to undercut you by paying you too little. Go straight commission. At the end of the day, you're going to get paid exactly what you're worth when you're on straight commission. Outside of that, you're not.
There's so much to process with that. There's so much to process with it. And I'm with you, right?
Yep.
So am I confident inside what I can do? Do I know I can wake up every morning and get stuff done? Do I have the process, right? And it goes back to, you know, atomic habits, right? You don't rise to the level of your goals, right? 15 million bucks. Hey, that's cool. Yep. But does your process support that? Is your process a 15 million, $20 million process?
Great point. And not only the process, because you're right, process is super important. Your drive, because I am not telling you that every single person should go straight commission. I'm telling you every single person that has anything less than amazing, strong work ethic should not go commission. But if you have amazing, strong work ethic and you're going to put it in and you're going to wake up and you're going to go to work every single day, then you should definitely go straight commission. And it falls into the other realm of what I firmly believe, which is if you're not doing something you enjoy, quit doing it. You're in the wrong world. Don't do it. If you're not enjoying it, you're having to drag yourself in every day and I got to pick up the phone and make another phone call, or I got to go sit there and talk to another person or whatever it is, then just go do something else. There's a lot of other careers out there. But if you love what you're doing and you're driven, you're not looking for how little can I work each day, because keep in mind, the salary-based person, that's how they make more money. The way they give themselves a raise is they work less. It's a complete opposite. You're really creating a structure that is detrimental to trying to get somebody enticed to do more and more and more.
Well, not only that, I run into the situation that I have two salesmen. Again, I'm making up numbers here, guys. I have two salesmen that make $60,000 a year salary, right? And then all of a sudden I find somebody else, but that person wants 75 and maybe he's got some other skill. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to pay him 75. Now I got three employees, right? That are ultimately a ticking time bomb until they talk to each other. And
Yes.
those two want $15,000 more because, hey, I'm equal to them. So now you talk about the great equalizer being inside what you actually do, right? The
Yes.
equalizer is how much do you get? How big's the blanket?
Yes. Well, and keep in mind when sales guys who are in a mindset of salary-based sales, what ends up driving what they are requiring from a salary standpoint is what they need to hit ground level. So if I know my lifestyle is that I have to make $80,000 a year, I have to make $80,000 a year just to maintain my current lifestyle, then I'm going to come in with a salary-based mindset and say, I need an $80,000 a year salary. And then anything above that I hit on commission, oh, that's an extra vacation, or hey, yeah, that's a little bonus here or there. But I need that salary that's going to pay what it is that my lifestyle is. Okay. If you as an employer say, okay, I'll pay you your $80,000 a year. Now, just think about what's just transpired. Me coming in and you just told me I'm going to make sure no matter what, your lifestyle is not going to change. You're going to be able to have everything you want. And I'm even going to give you a little extra. If you work good, if you do a good job, I'll give you some extra. What you've just done is created a situation that unless somebody is self-driven, they are not going to be motivated to becoming a top performer for you because their needs are already met. It's
You're
just
promoting
bonus.
complacency.
Yes, you are promoting and creating complacency. Whereas if somebody comes in and they have an $80,000 lifestyle that they have to maintain, and you say, hey, look, I've got a straight commission plan. Here's your straight commission plan. If you hit the numbers that I am needing you to hit, here's what I'm looking for. I need $5 million a year out of each one of my sales reps. And if you do that and you get 25% of that from service and the 75% of that comes from your re-roofs, this is where your numbers come in at right there. And that is $80,000 or maybe it's $90,000, right? And I'm seeing, okay, so for me to do just what is required, I'm going to make what it is that I need. And now if I'm really great, I'm going to do even better. Now you've created the exact same situation that you're already in. You already know at $80,000, this guy better sell $5 million or I'm firing him. So you already have that. So why not just lay it out so that he's motivated from day one to working hard? And as he does that, he's creating and instilling good habits of drive.
It's very interesting because what everybody's seeing right now is my mindset shifting as we're talking through this, right? Because as we hire somebody, again, at the end of the day, every company is somewhat the same, that we all make the similar amount of profitability and we have a similar amount of money that we can pay to be able to get the work done and a similar amount of money that we can pay for the profits for us to be able to continue to run a business.
Yes.
Right? They're all somewhat inside the same side there. But when I hire somebody, what typically happens in my mind is like, I need to be able to make sure. So I ask two questions in the hiring process. Number one, where do you need to be? Where do you want to be? And that ultimately tells me two things. Number one, where do I have to get them? Right. Which I'm thinking through this live, right? Like, okay, where do you need to be complacent? Right. And then number two, where do you want to be? And then that's always going to be my driver to be able to say, okay, I'm going to get you to where you want to be.
Yep.
And that's my push to it. But in my thinking about this, what I'm really asking is, what do you need to be complacent? What do you need to be able to live your life?
Yep.
Right. Which I always want, but like, I want so much more than that.
That's...
Right. And at that point, I almost become a cheerleader to say, you can do more, you can do more, you can do more, when really it's much like you said, man. It's creating that complacency, right? It's the individual who's changed 3 jobs in the last 3 years, made $5,000 more, but he's the same salesman.
Yes.
You might be paying him $20,000 more, but it's the same salesman with a lack of drive that lost his last 3 jobs because he had a salary that was so high that you're right, someone wins, someone loses, right? And it just so happened that the company lost, so they made the choice that they felt was best fit for them.
That's right. That's right. And it is doomed from the beginning. It's doomed from the beginning in one way or the other. Again, that's the company side losing in the scenario you just painted. The company side loses. This guy is not performing. Now here we go. I paid him $80,000 and he only brought in this much revenue. He only sold $2 million and that didn't pay for his salary. I gotta make a change, right? Now flip it. Now you got somebody who came in, you're paying him $80,000 and he goes out and he cranks out $10 million in sales and he ends up making $95,000. Woo, he made that $15,000 extra on top of his $80,000. But had he have been on a straight commission plan that made sense, that got him to his 80,000 based upon the $5 million sale, now all of a sudden he's making $160,000 by getting to that $10 million. He's making
the self-motivation of that would just be insane to be able to say, dude. And even with that, I'm thinking inside my head, right? And again, I'm thinking ownership side here, but as a company, the hardest thing you'll ever do is go to a new company because you got to build a new book of business. You got to build the relationships. You got to hunt and farm and all the different stuffs to be able to get.
Yes.
You didn't get to where you were by taking this job last week.
That's right.
But that's also that's also the sustainability and the loyalty to it is that you built this book of business. You have this. This is your world, right? Like
I could talk about commission versus salary all day long. I really could, because there are a lot of things that do make sense from a salary standpoint. Sales is not one of them. Sales is definitely not one of them. And I could even make a case for even, dispatch and other aspects of where performance-based pay could actually make even more sense than a salary. But management, I would say, requires some salary. And the reason I say that is because you don't have the opportunity to go out there and be a self-generator. And you're always moving. Oh, I got to go train this new guy. Okay, now I got to go over here and I got to go monitor my sales reports. Oh, I got to have my meeting with this guy and I got to go sit down. So you're always moving and very, so there are places where salaries make sense because you can't just go, okay, I want you to do A. And if you do A, you're going to make B. Sometimes it's, I want you all over the map and right. And so you create with a salary, not only in a sales aspect, right? From a salesperson's aspect, putting that back on the salesperson, you're creating a mindset in which from ownership, I have a guy that I'm paying. So therefore, if I want him to go over and do this or go over and do that, or I'm going to say, hey, I need you, Mr. Salary Salesman, to go train this new guy up on what it is you're doing. Well, I have to do it as a salesman because I'm being paid a salary, right? And so there's some control factor there from an ownership standpoint when you pay somebody a salary, when they're not just straight performance based, to where I can now dictate as an employer what it is that this person is going to do during the time that I'm paying them, because I'm paying them. But that takes them off task. It takes them away from what it is that you've really hired them to do, number one. And it also now requires you as an employer to be a babysitter. Now you have to sit there and oversee every minute of each day. And you better have your analytics and make these people use the CRM that none of them are ever going to use the way that owners want them to use it. I love CRMs, but as a sales guy, I can tell you right now, I don't have time to plug in every single thing that I do, even though I should for myself. But as an owner, I need that because that's my gauge for babysitting somebody, to make sure, well, I'm paying them $80,000 a year, that they're actually working and they're not just kicking back. So you've got to babysit salary. You have to understand as a salaried person that you're under the control of an employer's dictation of what they're telling you to do while you're being paid. And why does anybody want that on either side? Eliminate it. If I don't sell anything, guess what? I don't get paid anything. I made exactly what I'm worth. If I sell a little bit, I made a little bit. I get paid exactly what I'm worth. I mean,
I'm not going into the generation. I'm not going into the generational issues that we have. Okay.
I'm I'm aware too. It is, but that's fair, Chad. That not that your point is fair, and generationally, yeah, okay, we won't go there. But that mindset that you're referring to, that goes through all generations, and there's a whole lot of people out there that they want to do as little as they can and make as much as they can. That's how they see winning in life when it comes to monetarily. Do as little as I can and make as much as I can doing it. And that is the wrong mindset for a salesperson.
Well, that's what Mr. Beast has done to our world, in case you're wondering. Okay. No, but I'm with you, right? And what the other thing that I'm seeing is that it's not just our industry, right? It's all sales inside general supports, right? Even
Yep.
when you go into whatever best practices, right? You go salary.com or whatever it is, and it tells you what. So it supports all of this, and that's what creates this ecosystem of, hey, I deserve a salary because I show up to the office every day.
Yes. Yes. 100%. I want to share with you. I asked you prior to this if you had ever heard of a book called The Go Giver, and you hadn't. And The Go Giver, I recommend that to anybody who is listening to this or watching this. There's so many different sales techniques and tricks, and trust me, I've done. Are you familiar with neuro-linguistic programming, NLP? You ever heard of that?
Not recently.
Okay, this is how crazy the sales industry is. Okay, this is a real thing. Google it when we're done. NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and people will teach people how to do this. It's basically how to subliminally trick somebody into buying something from you by saying certain key things at certain key points of your sentence to where you're telling them something like, you know, you're going to love doing this roof whenever the time comes. And what you just said is you're going to love doing this roof, and you're emphasizing that. Now you can tame it back and say, whenever the time comes that you got to replace a roof. But what this neuro-linguistic programming just did is it told them you're going to replace a roof. All right. It's trickery. All right. It's a really dumb thing, but it's an extreme of how crazy this industry has gotten when it comes to sales techniques and sales tricks. Forget all of that. That is garbage. It's all garbage. Here is the basis of, if you want to be a good salesperson, you got to start with, I love selling. I love it. There's nothing about this that I'm not enjoying. I love it. Do I like not getting deals? No, it sucks. When I lose one, does my gut hurt a little bit? Yeah, but you know what? Why my gut hurts a little bit? Because I love it. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't care. My gut wouldn't hurt. So that's got to be in you. You've got to be motivated and driven and wake up and go to work every single day and want to be better, not better than the next guy, but better than you were the day before. Always compete with yourself. Forget about competing with others, because others might suck and then you just suck a little bit less. Work and compete against yourself so that every year you're striving to do better than you did the year before or the day before or the week before, however you want to break it down. And then put in your head how you get ahead in life. And I'm going to go through this. It's 5 quick laws, so I won't take a lot of time with this.
Yeah, no.
This is called the 5 laws.
I'm learning, so please.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I just this hits to my heart really a lot, because it really has a lot to do with where I find my hardcore wiring comes in of what I default to. And I don't have this mastered. I go off and I lose sight of this too. And I got to get back to my roots of what am I trying to do? This is called the 5 laws of stratospheric success. Get your mind around that one. The 5 laws of stratospheric success. All right. That's a big, big, big word. So forgive me, but I'm now 51, Chad. So I got to put on my glasses to be able to read. As do you, by the way. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. So number 1 law, the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. So in other words, my whole goal on that law is I need to do more for the person I'm doing business with than I'm asking them to pay me in revenue. So if I'm going to give you $10,000 in value, I better only ask for $6,000 in revenue. because I always need to give more. And the reason for that is, think about it in a relationship aspect. Let's say you're the friend that has the truck and you're always helping your buddy move all the time. He's got to move, he's got to do this, you're always there. You go out to lunch, you're flipping the bill for the guy every single time. You're always there for him. He broke up with his girlfriend, you're on the phone helping the dude out. I mean, it's just, you are always helping this guy. But the moment you need help, that dude's nowhere around. He's not there to help you move your couch. He's not there to buy the lunch. He's not there to do anything. If your relationship severs, if you guys break apart, who just lost in that equation? He did, because you're doing everything for him. What did you lose? Nothing. He's not doing anything for you. So if you apply that to business, you're creating a relationship and a bond with a company that would hurt them more to stop working with you than it would for you to stop working with them.
There's two things I love about that. Number one is, like, when you were talking, I was going through my head, is my customer actually happy to pay me for what I did? Right? Does that pain them? Number one. And then number two was said by a VP of a material supplier. And it still just blows my mind. If your customer left you, would they feel any pain?
Bingo. They better.
Would they feel any pain? Did they get it cheaper? Did they get it faster? All the kind of different stuff. Did your customer have any pain when they went somewhere else?
Yes.
If not, it's rented business and you're renting it to the next sale that you have to fight to win.
Yep. And one step even worse than that is, did your customer feel relief when they stopped doing business with you? Then you're in big trouble, right?
So I love that. I love that. I love that.
So law of compensation. This is what we've been talking about. Law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. That's it. If you want to make more money, serve more people and do it better than you did. That's what's going to drive your income. Serve more.
So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but
no.
So I'm influenced by quotes. Okay. I don't know why. It's just who I am. Zig Ziglar, you can have whatever you want as long as you help someone else get what they want.
Yep.
That's what comes to mind to me.
Yep.
Right.
Love it. Love it. Serve people. Make it about them, not about you. Not about you. It's about you. It's about them. The law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. So if I'm going to be an influence on the people I'm doing business with, I sure as heck better make sure that whatever their problem, that's why I like gap selling. I know you're familiar with gap selling too. That's why I like gap selling. Although gap selling has some tricks to, not tricks, but it has some challenges, I will say, in our industry, because it's really designed for like a technology set, a little bit different than roofing, but there's a lot of application there too. And that's why I do love it. But that is the one biggest thing. Listen to your customer, understand their needs and what they need, and put that before your own interests. That's the law of influence.
So let me ask this question. When I do sales training, the one thing that we always kind of paint the picture of who we want to be is a trusted advisor.
Yep.
And the way I explain that is someone who sits on the same side of the table as your customer.
Yep.
You're making the same decision, not on the other side, sliding a piece of paper over saying, hey, sign this, here you go, right? But
Yep.
We're sitting on the same side of the table to say, I don't know if this is right? You're making the decision to be able to get to the same finish line at the same time.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Is that how you see it?
That is how I see it. And I would almost say, even go one step further, and don't be across the table to slide it across the table. Be on the same side of the table as them and slide it next to you, side by side. We are sitting here on the same page with the same understanding, with the same goals in mind. And those goals have nothing to do with my sales quotas and my sales numbers and what I need to do. And it has everything to do with what you need, Mr. Customer, with servicing your roof, with replacing your roof, with monitoring your roof. Maybe you're about to sell your building and you need some help with figuring out what the best opportunity is for you to get out of this building in the most economical way, in a way that helps you to sell your building and puts the new buyer in a better position than they're in right now with your current roof system. So whatever that is, we got to get on the same side of the table with them and do exactly what you just said by making sure that we are making that decision together.
Love it. Love it,
Law,
love it.
law of authenticity, the most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. That's a no-brainer, but that is definitely truth. There's only one Chad Westbrook. There's only one Jeff Broderick. There's only one of you, whoever you are out there. And you bring uniqueness to the industry. You bring uniqueness to the table, and you bring uniqueness to that relationship that nobody else can. So don't try to be Chad. Don't try to be Jeff. Don't try to be Joe or Steve or Bob. Be you and allow yourself to bring that value that only you can bring because nobody else can.
And I'm wondering if you ever wanted to be a motivational speaker.
You know what? Only to myself.
Okay.
Only to
Hey,
myself.
it worked.
You know what? There's some truth in that. I mean, it is something that every day you want to be motivated and you want to be driven. And what I have found is, and this is where I keep going back to, if you do something you love, you are going to be good at it. If you do something you like, you can work and be good at it. If you do something that you don't care about, you'll only be average at best. And if you do something you hate, you're going to suck at it. That's just how it is.
And you can buy the poster at jeffbroderick.com. Just kidding. But we need that. We need that. And I love that, right? So I had so many questions lined up. I won't say so many, it was like 10 or 15. But you know what? I'm really happy I didn't ask any of them. I'm happy we went
That's
through
probably
this.
my fault. I apologize.
No, I'm happy we went through this. I will tell you, it is a mind shift on my side of like, because we talk about company culture a lot. What do we want it to be, right? And then how do we influence? And every time we bring someone onto the team, that company culture resets. There's so much behind that. But what I'm getting from this is that what you're talking about, yes, it's you, right? You're independent, $15 million, unicorn, I would call it. And if anybody even wants to get close to that, this is about culture. This is about mindset. This is about understanding that you are going to ultimately create better people who are going to make more money, who are going to love what they do, have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, but they know they're going to get paid for the value that they put in.
That's
right.
exactly
It goes
right.
back to those laws and that stuff. And like, that's where my head is at,
Yep.
is that if you want to be a kick-ass sales rep, I don't care if you're in commercial roofing, wherever you are, it
Yep.
starts with mindset. It starts with having that culture around you to be able
So
to
true.
enforce it and grow it and support it.
Yes.
Right. I
Yes.
see myself as a huge supporter that whenever a sales rep comes in, it's my responsibility that they have the tools, the resources, however I can help with processes.
Yes.
Everyone's different.
Yep.
But like, that's what I'm taking away from this, man. I loved it.
I'll hit you with the last one because anybody who's counting knows we only hit 4 stratospheric laws of success. So
I'm way up. I'm way up. Okay, five.
real quick on the last one, because I know our time is limited. So but the law, this is huge. The law of receptivity. Okay, that's the final one. So we have the law of value, law of compensation, law of influence, law of authenticity, and the law of receptivity, which says the key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. So this is what I call putting money in the bank when it comes to sales. And if there's one thing that I would say has been a big part of my understanding over the past few years of what's allowed me to go from what was $5 to $6 million to doing $10 million a year to doing 13 million, 15 million this year, hopefully I've projected $21 million for the constant ongoing growth. Okay. And I'm saying that simply for the effectiveness of understanding that this is me coming to some realizations and understandings of why is it why is that a unicorn? Why is that? It shouldn't be a unicorn. Why is that a unicorn? Why is $5 million like acceptable as a good sales number in the roofing industry? It makes no sense to me. An average roof replacement is $250,000. And we all know that there's $1 million roofs out there all the time, and sometimes more than that. So why is that? It's because it's what we've allowed. But the law of receptivity, the key to effective giving is open to receiving. Put money in the bank. There are so many times that I will go and I will make sure that we're doing an inspection for somebody. Due diligence reports are a great way to put money in the bank. All right. Here's my one little actionable tidbit for anybody out there that's curious on some of these things. Due diligence reports are somebody who has not even purchased a building, but they're looking at buying a building. They may not even buy it. and they're looking for somebody to inspect the roof because they know the roof can get them in big trouble if they buy a building that's got a bad roof. So a due diligence report is likely not, maybe not even a sale, because they don't even own the building. They may not even buy the building. So what can we do to help them? Well, we can do a really inexpensive inspection report for them, a very inexpensive inspection report for them. Take what would normally be something that you charge a couple grand for and charge a couple hundred for it, and put that money in the bank by allowing yourself to do something for somebody that maybe it isn't this building. Maybe it's 5 more due diligence reports. Now they bought the building, they're going to replace the roof, and they come back to you and say, hey, you've been my guy all along. We want you to replace the roof on this building. Or maybe it's a buyer that's going to buy 10 more buildings. And now I've got this ongoing relationship with somebody who's constantly purchasing commercial real estate, and they need a relationship with a good roofing company. Put money in the bank. Don't always look at every single dollar for every single ticket that you run and say, I have to maximize this ticket and make as much money as I can on this ticket. If you do that, you're going to run at a course that's like every other roofing company out there, and for the most part, forgive me if there's others that don't have that mindset, but who focus on ticket profitability. No, focus on relational profitability. I didn't make $1 on this ticket, but that account, I'm making $5 million a year on that account. So I can afford to not make any money on that ticket for the next 10 tickets if I want. So that's my biggest thing that I would say from the law of receptivity. I always take on myself is, how can I give something to somebody without asking them for anything in immediate return, and build up that account of trust and relationship without having to require payment.
Dude, I love it. 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 To the 1% of the 1% who will get this. Is this similar to DPR's stock the shelves?
If you're asking me, DPR's stock the shelves, and forgive me because DPR, I haven't talked to DPR for a long time, but I know DPR had a mindset of van profitability, if you will, and so there's nothing wrong with van profitability, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. I think that's important because companies got to make money, clearly. But I guess where I come from with it a little bit is, you never want to jump over that $20 bill to pick up that 25-cent coin. If you can
that's a really, really good point, right?
Yes.
And there's so much more that we can go into this, and even like book of business. I mean, we're not going to give away trade secrets. We're not anything inside there, but I honestly, I learned from this. I grew from this. I love all of this, man. I can't thank you enough for doing this. And
my pleasure. Anytime, Chad. Anytime.
You gave me a new Audible book to read. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. Audible. I love it. By the way, I don't read books. I mean, I know how to read. I'm not illiterate, but I don't like reading books. I get sleepy. I zone off my brain, but I love listening to books. So the audiobook, The Go-Giver, Audible all day long.
All right, so you know what, Jeff, you gave that. Now I'm going to give everybody else the little bit inside here. One thing that I learned is that I spent, and this was me driving to an office 20 minutes away, okay? Not crazy. 20 minutes every single day was 40 minutes that I spent. I did that 5 times a week, 40 minutes. That was 200 minutes, okay? Hours that I spent inside the car, no offense, listening to music that was just on repeat. I took that out, I added Audible in there, and I can literally read books, plural, every single month, right? When I feel I want to learn, when I feel what I want to learn about, that's the piece to this.
Yeah.
And I love that. So
there was nothing wrong with your BGs, by the way. Your BGs were just fine, but I hear you.
the mood setter, okay?
That's right. That's right.
Big difference. Big difference.
Exactly.
No, Jeff, truly, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it more than you know. And I think your feedback and influence and all of this, I think, went well beyond what my expectation was. I appreciate your time, sir.
Well, anytime, Chad, and thank you. It's truly an honor that you had me on here, and I am super proud of what you're doing. Keep doing it, and you're doing a great thing for the industry and really helping people.
I love it. We'll have more, guys. So questions you're afraid to ask. This is just a piece of it. We're going to keep going deeper and getting into why is our industry like it is. And if you want to be part of the 1%, you want to make changes. These are the pieces that you guys need to take in order to happen. So see you next time, guys.